Now, in this segment and the next few, I'm going to play Obama's speech today in Copenhagen, the final day of the official world government event. I mean, that's what Ban Ki-moon calls it. That's what Von Rompuy calls it. The head of the EU, head of the UN, Schwarzenegger calls it that. David de Rothschild calls it that. No more denial, private world government. So I'm going to play Obama and briefly stop him and cover each lie. Here is Obama today in Copenhagen.
Good morning. It is an honor for me to join this distinguished group of leaders from nations around the world. We come here in Copenhagen because climate change poses a grave and growing danger to our people. All of you would not be here unless you, like me, were convinced.
Okay. Now, that's about 30 seconds of it. Let's go over the lies. He says, all of you leaders are here. You all agree that climate change is a grave and deadly threat and is really happening. That's a complete fraud. More than 50 of the delegates of the 190 plus that are there on record have said they are questioning ClimateGate and the official story, and a bunch of world leaders from those countries are questioning it, and that's on record. You know, the president of the Czech Republic, countless others, the Russians, you name it, the Japanese, the Chinese, the Indians. It goes on and on. So that's a lie. You're all here, you all agree, and you all agree it's a grave danger. And notice it's not global warming now because things are getting colder, naturally. It's global change. The change is not normal. The seasons are not normal. Okay, so let's continue.
Unless you, like me, were convinced that this danger is real. This is not fiction. It is science.
Hit pause. This is not fiction. It is science. When the main UN university in England that produced the key documents and the head scientist for the IPCC, Santer, separately from ClimateGate, now admits, as of Wednesday on national U.S. television, this is huge news, that he took out 5 areas of the report where the UN's own scientists said man is not causing this. The final report, they cut it out. Of course man can't do anything near the sun or anything near the moon. And the tidal changes from the moon, the amount of gases exchanged by all of that water moving. I mean, that alone, the moon is unbelievable. But the sun dwarfs it. So it's just incredible. All of it is lies. Continue.
Unchecked, climate change will pose unacceptable risks to our security, our economies, and our planet.
Hit pause. Unacceptable risk. You have the UN caught fixing the data. This is the same thing when he talks about this is not a fiction, this is science. That's like Al Gore talking about how he invented the internet. Total lie. Or Al Gore saying polar bears can't swim and are all dying when their numbers have more than tripled in the last 50 years. Official numbers. That's like Bill Clinton saying I did not have sex with that woman. Or Richard Nixon saying I'm not a crook. Or George Bush Sr. saying read my lips. It's a lie. It's a lie. So he's saying this is science. This is fact. You can't question. When their scientists have been proven in premeditated fraud. Here's a guy saying pay taxes to a private global corporation, the World Bank and IMF, or the seas are going to rise and you're going to drown. Back to it.
This much we know. The question then before us is no longer the nature of the challenge. The question is our capacity to meet it.
Hit pause. See, he just keeps saying, everyone knows, everyone knows. It's not a question. It's a fact. We know the facts are in. You've got to do what I say. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. A total con man. Just a slick Harvard lawyer con man running a scam on the dumb public. Well, the dumb public woke up to your scam, buddy. Let's go back to him.
For while the reality of climate change is not in doubt, I have to be honest.
There you go. Hit pause again. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to play this. We're not even 2 minutes into it. He says, while the reality of climate change is not in doubt, I guess in a lawyer speak, that's true. The climate is always changing. Just like on Mars, the ice caps were getting smaller the last 50 years. Suddenly, the last 5, it started getting bigger again. Because the sun just cooled off. That's why it's going to get colder here. I mean, it's not a conspiracy theory, folks, that if you stand in front of a fireplace, it heats your hands, and that the sun heats up and cools off. It oscillates in cycles, in 21-year cycles and 11-year cycles. I mean, ancients worshiped the sun because they knew it created the heat. The UN said on Monday, no, it's not the sun. The sun has no effect. That's Associated Press headline. In fact, Google that. UN says sun has no effect on climate. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, penguins can swim. Their numbers are up. Polar bears can swim. They hunt on the ice floes. They're not drowning. The sun is what mainly drives climate. I don't know how many climatologists and astrophysicists I've got to have on to explain that. But when somebody tells you the sun isn't involved in the temperature, ladies and gentlemen, this planet would be below zero and would be hundreds of degrees below zero in days if the sun went out. We would be as cold as Pluto. Pluto, I forget, pull up the temperature of Pluto. It's something like thousands of degrees below zero. You know why? Because it's thousands of times further out from the sun than our planet is. Look at that. No sun link to climate change. BBC. I just... How dumb do they think we are? I'm going to come back and try to go through this. But he said nobody's questioning. No one's questioning climate change. You heard it from him. That's another lie. 31,000 scientists sent him a petition saying they wanted to talk to him. I mean... Okay, let's continue with Obama. So he just said no one questions climate change. Another lie. I mean, you know that's a lie. Even if you believe polar bears can't swim, penguins can't swim, the sun doesn't warm the earth, has nothing to do with it. You just saw the UN say so. You could fry eggs outside on the cement in July in Texas, but nothing to do with the sun. That heat's coming up from a grill underneath the concrete. Okay, even if you believe that, you know scientists are questioning man-made global warming. You know that's a lie. Now, let's go back to his lordship. Here's Obama at the UN.
Is not in doubt. I have to be honest, as the world watches us today, I think our ability to take collective action is in doubt right now. And it hangs in the balance. I believe we can act boldly and decisively in the face of a common threat. That's why I come here today, not to talk, but to act. Now, as the world's largest economy and as the world's second largest emitter, America bears our responsibility to...
Okay, so now there's a bunch of America bashing. We're the second biggest polluter. China's passed us last year of putting out the most carbon dioxide. Let's not stop them from putting lead, mercury, and melamine in the baby milk and in the medicines and the foods and all the crud they ship over here. Let's not have China stop that. Let's have them stop putting out carbon dioxide. But wait, they don't have to make cuts under this agreement. Only we do. And so more of our industry will move there. But here he is in front of the UN, in front of all these countries, bad-mouthing his own country. Back to Obama.
America bears our responsibility to address climate change. And we intend to meet that responsibility. That's why we've renewed our leadership within international climate change negotiations. That's why we've worked with other nations to phase out fossil fuel subsidies.
All right, hit pause. What that means is, hey, the U.S. is run by the private banks, and the U.S. has funded the world government. We've been sucked dry to fund this, and we're intensifying our funding to buy all you third world countries off. And most of you presidents and prime ministers and parliament heads, you've all gotten giant cash payments from us to sell your people out. So you've been bought. So you deliver. You deliver, cutting off the resources and fossil fuels to your millions of people, many of which are living on the edge of starvation, and millions of which do starve. You kill your people for the New World Order because that's what Dutch Rothschild and the Queen of England and David Rockefeller want. That's the translation there. Back to Obama.
That's why we've taken bold action at home by making historic investments in renewable energy, by putting our people to work, increasing efficiency in our homes and buildings.
Hit pause. More lies. They always candy coat their global taxation grid in electric cars, windmills, things that sound reasonable. But really, even those are boondoggles given to their select friends and buddies as payoffs. That's coming out in the news. So that's an inside scam.